Hello and welcome. This is Mousegunner, and we're back with some more Neo Scavenger. And we're getting close to the end here. We're in Camp Grayling, and we're in the control tower, which I really am hoping is the last building we have to be in because we cannot take any more of this radiation from the robots. In any case, the control tower begins as a triangular enclosure at its base. Red emergency lights spreading out across the walls and floor. You see no trace of the main lights or anything else of note. Hollowness haunts this place as much as it holds the rest of Camp Grayling. As the tower's spine, an elevator lies dead at the bottom of the shaft. Mired in darkness, a spiral staircase trails along the wall, high up to where you can no longer see. All right, well, we can't leave, so let's go to the control tower landing. Find yourself on the first and only landing in the tower, up 7 stories from the ground. A spiral of red lights goes on forever in the almost endless dark below. Above you, you hear faint electronic noises. Before you is a door with the letters M-E-R on its front. So we can go back down, or we can go back up. Let's go into this door. I don't know what the M-E-R stands for. You try the door, it budges just enough for you to know that it isn't locked. It seems there's a barricade on the other side. You peer through the crack. All you see are walls of flickering yellow lights against a space of purest black. When you listen closely, you hear something, a rhythmic sound, a rising and falling. A cold chill runs down your back when you realize you're hearing breaths. Call out to it. Call out to whoever is inside. The only response, the rhythmic breaths stop. Outside, faint pounding of mechanical legs can still be heard, but nothing in here. After a few moments of quiet, the breathing resumes. Nothing else happens. Close the door and try not to think about it, whatever is in there. Okay, so we're going to go up, I guess. The stairs end at a circular room surrounded by tall and wide windows. The very top of the control tower. Around the ceiling hangs an imperfect array of dimming off-white lights, pinpointing each area of responsibility with stage-like gravitas. Monitors and keys at about half of the workstations appear active, all situated toward the center and front. Binders and files stack high at the center table in varying states of chaos. Outside, the mist seems to have thinned somewhat, just enough for you to see the ghost base over which you're standing. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is assess my things. And something I probably should have done a long time ago is put the pistol in my hand. Put the bow on our back. Okay. So, let's check out the view. I might have to use my flash drive here, but let's check out the view first. There's a lot to see around you. Which way do you look? Look to the east, look to the north, look to the west, look to the south. Okay, let's look to the east. Peer through dark glass towards the eastern skies. Traveling in a pack, dogmen make their way through a clearing in the woods. A few of them stop to drink from a pond. Then they lope back towards the rest. From clear forms back into the blur of black shadows. They're heading west. Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot of them. Okay, so we just looked east. Let's look north. Peer through the dark glass towards the northern skies. A thick fog forms a blockade of sorts with heavy clouds. The farthest out you can see is Lake Marge. Or Margith. I'm not really familiar with that. A massive body of colorless black water as still as glass. West. Peer through dark glass towards the western skies. Nestled deep within dense forests appear to be a few domes on towers, smaller than the trio of giant spheres on the base. They form a perimeter, but you can make out nothing between or beyond them. Then finally we have south. Peer through the dark glass towards the southern skies. There clears up towards the south, opening a direct line of sight to a piebald landscape of forests, plains, and ruins. Details elude you, but the absence of humans makes itself known well enough. All right, well, let's go back to the control room. I guess we're going to have to use, if it'll allow me, I don't know what I need to do here. Doesn't let me use any of these items. All right, having taken a look at the wiki, it looks like I may have made a fatal mistake, as I think I was supposed to go in a different building. From what the quest said, having taken a look at the wiki, we were instructed to, after going into the barracks to get the ID, we were instructed to go into the quote-unquote largest building, which is not this building. It is, I believe, the hangar. The wiki is not necessarily clear on this, but from what I'm understanding of what I read there, where we need to go and what we need to access is in the hangar. Now, from what I have read, the building that we're in is the objective point if you have taken this quest from other quest givers. Apparently, there's other quest givers in the game that give you a quest to do things in this base, and you do that here. But not Hatter's quest. Hatter's quest is specifically in the hangar. So, I don't think I can go outside again and survive. I'm going to try, but I think I'm going to die doing that. But what we needed to do was go in the hangar, and there's apparently a secret area we need to get into. So, I'm going to try doing that. By the way, just for your information, this door can never be entered. It's barred. There's nothing you can do in there. So, what have you. But we're going to try and leave here and see if we can survive. Now, I have closed out of the game to take a look at the wiki and reloaded, so we don't have that message anymore that says that, you know, we won't be able to survive. Let me just make sure real quick, because I was messing around a little bit before I took a look at the wiki with my flash drive, and I don't want to leave the flash drive behind on accident. So it is still in our inventory. That's good. All right, well, as I said, I made a fatal mistake. I chose the wrong building, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to get out of here, but we're going to try. Nonetheless. All right, so I'm going to leave. So the location we needed to go to was the hangar. Now, one of the reasons I didn't go there is I believe it said it was further away, so I wasn't sure I'd make it. But we're going to try now. A moment of rushing air and fear is all you experience before the VMATs lock onto you. So we've seen this. You slam into the hangar's door, personnel door, clawing at the handle. So we do see this message again. And as the door opens, you feel the burning trail off until the door slams behind you, leaving you in the darkness and throbbing aches. All right, so we got lucky. It actually allowed me to come in here. So that, I was really worried that it wouldn't let me do that. So, fortunately, that mistake I made was not fatal. Now we are, I'm assuming, in the right building. You stand in awe of the impossible space folded inside the hangar. The walls and rafters seem to recede at your approach, easing into the shadows of infinity. You shudder to think what was once housed here. No mere aircraft, surely. Something much bigger. Whatever it is, it has left a grand vacuum, meekly filled by a small unmanned aerial vehicle in the center, evidently midway through repairs, dwarfed by the pyramid of ghostly light in which it rests. Nearby, a maintenance hatch on the floor lies open. So we can examine the UAV, we can check our things, we can leave, and we can explore the hatch. Now, it's possible because I loaded out of the game and loaded back in that it actually forgot about this piece of information. So that actually might have been a saving grace that I went to take a look at that wiki. So I'm very pleased. Let's go ahead and take a look at this UAV just real quick here. The lone UAV looks to have been sitting in disuse for some time. It's much larger up close. White-tipped wings extend out from a once shiny body that is the color of onyx, or onyx, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that, with a thin flourish of blue on each fin of its Y-shaped tail. A weapons bay at its heart lies exposed and empty. A side panel hangs open, a clear void in the circuitry for something flat and rectangular. There's a shipping crate here with packing materials cushioning a circuit. Discounting the missing parts, it does appear to be damaged. You see no reason this drone was singled out from the others on the base either. Standing in awe of the impossible. Okay, that's the same thing. All right, so we know that the drone seems to be in fair repair. Outside, it's missing a few parts. All right, might be important. We don't know. Let's explore the hatch. Tiny green maintenance lights lead your eyes down into the earth, down a tight crawl space beneath the hatch. A rush of air drifts upward, smelling of silicone and copper, of thermoplastics and tin, of beginnings and ends. You see nowhere else to go but into darkness. You carefully ease yourself down, catching one glimpse of the surface in case it's your last. Now, I will point out, I only looked at enough of the wiki to know where I was supposed to go. I didn't actually read into what happens after this point, so I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. So hopefully we don't make another bad decision. So it looks like we can climb down into there. Yeah, let's go do that. The concrete tunnel grows intent with sealing you in, tightening its grip around you with each rung you descend. You lose account of how many times your knees and elbows scrape against the sides. You reach a point where neither up nor down seems to have an end, and you're convinced you've found yourself a new kind of hell. But like so many times before, you press on. There's too much at stake. You lower your foot, expecting to find more ladder, but it's floor that meets your expectation. The air feels entirely different. It's deep down, warmer, more arid. You step off the rungs, expecting a whole other world. You walk forward, and blue-white lights rise like an ancient tide. In concentric rings around you, rows upon rows, sometimes it's hard to read the text here, rows upon rows of 6 feet high CPUs extend as far out as the hangar above. You hear the endless exhale of vents and internal fans. The LED lights cycle and flicker and stare. In front of you, a path leads straight down to a curved desk on a raised platform, immaculately crafted and beholden only to the great black mirror before it. You seat yourself on a black leather chair and reach of a sleek-looking keyboard anchored to the desk center. The giant monitor looms high ahead. Against it, its onks, we're using that word again, abyss. Pale white text blares on unintelligible sequences. A jitter wipes it all away until, letter by letter, a single word takes its place. Black-white. Black-white online, a voice says. At the bottom of the screen, the outline of a thin rectangle stretches across. Pixels of white start to fill its inner void, left to right with the slowness of nightfall. Smith credentials remain active. Unsealed are 1.16 exabytes of data. What will user Smith review? The base's artificial intelligence, black-white, idles while a blinking cursor beckons for a command. The keyboard on the desk shimmers and the screen's dim glow. Everything you've come across in your journey through Michigan floods your mind. Every question, every puzzle, every mystery. Along the monitor's lower edge, the status bar steadily continues to fill. You may not get all your answers. Okay, so we're not going to mess around here. We can do anything we want here, but I don't want to take a chance here. We've already made some mistakes before, so I'm going to go ahead and use Hatter's bug. Now, I don't remember. He said use the bug, then use the badge, I think. We'll do this. Beside the black desk, you find a panel that opens an array of ports, only half of which you can recognize. On the lower end, USB, FireWire, HDMI, VGA, headset audio jacks, ancient history. With the bug device in hand, you check it against the other slots, passing row after row. At the very top corner, you find a heptagon-shaped port that looks to have never been used. It's the one. Promise of Hatter's client conjures images of a whole new life to mind. You leave behind the wastelands, the dangers, the fear. What could be more important than living? I don't know if we're going to live. We've already been burned bad by radiation, and it seems like the robots are all over the place. With a deep breath, you slide the bug into place. It's possible we are not meant to get out of here. The status bar fills. Emergency lights spill waves of red around the room as alarms Rip through the air. The monitor turns white. Unauthorized command, Black-White says. System error. Before you can move, you see why the desk sits on a raised platform in the middle of the room. It isn't for gravitas or appearances. It's to camouflage the fact that 3-inch walls of ballistic glass can shoot up from the ground and seal you inside a giant coffin, and you're powerless but to watch that happen. Base personnel have been alerted. Do not move and await further instructions. From what you've seen around Grayling, you'll only be waiting for ghosts. You try using the console, you try destroying it, you try breaking through the clear walls, but all you manage to do is wear yourself out. I'm awaiting personnel, repeats Black-White. You will be questioned. Every 5 minutes, you hear the same reminder, and it slows the passage of time. Your breathing quickens. There's no air coming in and or out. I'm waiting personnel. You will be questioned. Okay, player suffocated in an automated detention room, awaiting security personnel who would never come. Awaiting personnel, you will be questioned. The hours bleed together beneath a crushing headache. You can't focus. Sparks fill your blurring eyes. Your legs can no longer hold you. Awaiting personnel, you will be questioned. Gas, choking, fear, let it end. You hear someone beg, let it end. No one is there but you. I am waiting, and the darkness comes. All right, well, we did the wrong thing, apparently. So I guess I was supposed to use the badge first. All right, well, you know, that sucks, and that's the way things go. And unfortunately, there are no save files in this game, so I can't just reload and try again. But clearly, I was meant to probably use the badge. Now, yes, I could have read the wiki and just read that, but that kind of defeats what I'm trying to do with the playthrough here. I'm trying to have fun experiencing the game itself and not just have everything handed to me. But this is the real problem with this game, in that you don't get a second chance. That's it. And that's part of the appeal, too, if that's the kind of thing you're into, but it's also extremely frustrating to a certain extent. And that's going to be the end, I guess, of the game. So I'm guessing we were supposed to use the badge first. And I didn't know that. I thought that we would get another opportunity to use the badge. Clearly, I was wrong with that. I thought that using the badge might cause an issue because it thought I was Smith or whatever, and I didn't know what the badge was for. So I thought maybe that would conflict and it would go, oh, you know, whatever. So I didn't think that that would happen, but it is what it is. That's the conclusion we have. Am I going to do another playthrough of Neo Scavenger? I'm not sure at this point. I have enjoyed the game, and I may play it on my own time, but playing this game in a series kind of has its own challenges. First off, I have had it bug out on me before. And it's really the problem with this game is the fact that you do only have that one save file. So if it bugs out or whatever, that's it. You're done. If you have something like this happen, honestly, if I have a technical issue happen and I want to redo something, I can't. The game's over, more or less. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do another playthrough, but even with this conclusion where I died, it's kind of frustrating, but I still enjoyed myself. I had a little bit of moments with the dogmen close to the end of the game that was frustrating. The sheer numbers that they came at me and having to deal with that. And honestly, if I had rather than just, you know, slept, I had just gone straight to Camp Grayling, I wouldn't have had to deal with any of that stuff. And I probably would have saved myself a couple of videos, honestly. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the series. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.